Bukowski Marco, so I'm going to speak in English. If we speak a bit too quickly, let us know. But basically, my name is Wilhelm Ogterop, and this is my brother-in-law and printer, Jane Printer. We've worked in the games industry for about 14 years, and Jane for about 9 years. We now local to Wilhelm. We live in a village called Emmen, you might know it, just outside. And we would like to add the local talent in Wilhelm, so we'll put up our details on Facebook afterwards. So if you have any questions about specific games, roles, and things like that, feel free to contact us and speak to us about those things. Is there anybody interested in working in the games industry? No? Are you students mostly? Are you guys students? Yeah? Oh, cool. Okay, basically, I'm a character animator. My brother-in-law is a character artist, and James is an environment artist. Quick thing about the roles in the games industry. If you want to work at the big studios, you need to basically choose what role you're going to do. There isn't really a lot of generalists working in the industry, it's specialization. So the first thing, if you want to work in a big game studio, you need to decide, okay, I want to do this role. This is what I enjoy most, and this is what I'm going to focus on. And then you need to focus all your efforts in becoming good at that specific role. So for me, I've been a character animator. I chose that role because I really enjoy the final stage of bringing the character to life. I can do a bit of reading, I can do a bit of modeling, but I had to choose, okay, I'm going to be a character animator in my animation role. My career history, I started back in the old days in 3D Studio, which still ran on Microsoft DOS. It's a long time ago. I started working in South Africa. I started by studying graphic design, and 3D animation was just kind of starting up then. I got into it, and I was lucky enough to find a job. Got some in-house training, and I worked in TV and video graphics for a while. In 1999, I moved to England, where I decided to get into the games industry, started focusing on character animation, and I got my first job at a small company called First, where I worked on this game for 5 years, which was way too long. And it was fun, but I'm glad it's over. But it was a very good experience, and a lot of the people who worked at that company, which was a company of about 20 or 30 people, then ended up moving on to bigger companies, and I still know most of them. After that, after this company unfortunately folded, which happens a lot in the games industry, I started working for a company called Eurocom. You probably haven't heard the name. Eurocom is kind of a third-party developer doing a lot of movie-type games. They did a few original titles as well early on, but later on they were just focusing on this. There I became lead animator, and I worked on these projects, which Dead Space was probably the most fun, I think, in there. I worked there for 5 or 6 years. After that, I moved on to Travel and Sales Fusion, where I worked on, until the beginning of this year, as lead animator on these projects. Simply, I was just an animator. Bigger Movie and the other 3, I was lead animator on. Really enjoyed it, one of the best companies I ever worked for. And yeah, that's basically my career history. The rest of this, Henk and Jane will introduce themselves, and afterwards we'll just have a question and answer thing. If you don't want to ask a question in the forum, you're welcome to just come and ask us afterwards. We'll be hanging around for a little bit afterwards as well. And then, of course, if you've got further questions, welcome to contact us through our link on Facebook afterwards. Thank you very much. It's Jane.
Thanks, Paul. So for me, I'm an environmental artist, as Paul said. The path that I took into the game industry, focusing on 3D, was a little bit different. I didn't actually go to a formal institution for training, so I didn't go to college or university for 3D or art. I actually went to college for business. And then I met Hank and Will, and I was like, oh, games, that's interesting. Can I play games and game that? So I thought, okay, I could do a role within the industry. So I really thought about, when I play a game, what do I look for? What's more exciting for me? And for me, it was environments, so there left no hesitation that 3D environments would be the path that I would choose. So the way I got into the industry was I took about 6 to 8 months. I got some books, online resources, and I created a demo. And from that demo, I sent that to a company, and then I got my first job, and it's snowballed from there. So, as I said, I've been in the industry now for 9 years. I've worked in Australia, I've worked in Canada, and I've worked in England. I've worked on a variety of platforms, including DS, PlayStation, PC, Xbox, as well as recently for mobile devices. So the work that I've done has been a mixture of high poly, low poly, tile textures, unique textures, so it's really been varied in job role. So yeah, that's pretty much an introduction to myself and what I do. So if you do have any questions regarding environments for games or 3D, I will say we're here, feel free to ask us questions.
So right there. As my friend said, I'm a character artist and I've been working in the industry for 15 years. I'm from South Africa as well, and our industry is very small. And the only choice we had was to move to England to get a job in 3D the first time. But it's been going well, and we moved around the world, working in different studios. So we just wanted to introduce ourselves and give advice for anybody who wants to work in games, particularly making characters. So feel free to ask us questions. And
so we're just going to play a little video which just will show a little bit of what we all three of us do. This first section is the mobile's animation mark.
Sorry, there's no sound. Most of these are just acting pieces at the beginning, and then some full body pieces. It's basically just to demonstrate some wave actions, acting, and things like that. And this midsection here is some of the work that I've done.
And this is the Hank's work. Are there any questions about what we do or the game industry, how to get through, or